All right, I'm going to go live now. Hello, hello. We are now live. All right, I'm going to go ahead and kick off the intro music here, and then we'll do introductions. Good evening and welcome to Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms. This is Raph streaming to you live high above the keep in the hot air balloon. Tonight we got some very special guests. We have Bob and we have Meanmachine and we have Neindorf. How are you guys doing? Neindorf, I haven't chatted with you in a while. What's going on?
Nothing too exciting. I'm hoping to get some excitement rolling here yet tonight, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and we have two very special guests to the stream, Bob and Meanmachine. You guys have just recently found out that you are the very fortunate recipients of Crystal Veil Gen0s. So first off, congratulations, guys. Really excited in the Discord the other day when we found out that we had three different team members who got Gen0s. That was pretty cool. It felt like a little bit of a hype train that we had going on. Bob, why don't you introduce yourself and maybe give us some information on how long have you been in the DFK space?
Hey man, thanks. Yeah, yesterday was crazy. I wasn't even gonna check to be honest, because I didn't really hold out much hope. I wasn't super early. I was in basically at the very end of the Wishing Well era. So right before Quest went live, I started off buying a couple of 10 out of 10s. Never had a Gen Zero, but I kind of slowly built up my heroes because I like that a little more than just staying in the gardens, mostly to my detriment. But I guess recently it worked out because I really got into the perilous journey thing. I always really liked summoning, so I ended up with this stable of like 30 kind of ragtag heroes, mostly commons, mostly basic classes. But I sent 21 of them to the perilous journey, and 10 came back, and I had like 80 something tickets, and I just binked yesterday, which I realized right before I was about to go out to my evening shift for DoorDash. I checked the thing and realized I'd won a Gen Zero, and I was pretty excited. So suffice to say, it's a pretty big
Amazing.
deal for me.
I
Yeah.
absolutely love this story. I think that's I think that's what they were really trying to go for with how they've structured the giveaways with the gens. Well, I shouldn't say giveaways, but it's more like the play to earn with the Gen 0s. So I mean that's it's really neat
Oh
that
yeah, I was
you
playing.
didn't
I do
have to
my
be a
quest
whale,
every day.
you didn't have to get in first, and you're still able to play the game, and I think that just goes to show. For some of you newcomers out there, we're still early in the whole development of the game. And hopefully this story is like encouraging. I think there's going to be a ton of opportunities similar to this. Keep playing the game and go for those raffle tickets, and you can strike gold. And so congrats on that. Awesome. All right, Mean Machine. Introduce yourself and tell us about your journey into DFK.
How's it going, everyone? I'm Meanmachine. Bob's story was awesome. I got in around the same time as he did, so right when the wishing well was stopping off. I feel like I was about 4 days late because I was about 4 days into heroes. So I remember the first hero I bought was a common Gen 1 Forager with like half its summons left, and I paid like 240 jewels for that. And I thought I was going to bargain. So
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
have definitely learned the game through some trial and error. But I did the same thing. I got a little into summoning. My big summoning hits were when right before gardening was coming out, people were getting into mining, and I was trying to zig while other people zagged, and so I got really into gardening. And I actually summoned my first sage. That was like my DFK, a moment of
Nice.
triumph. And then as the perilous journey went along, I sort of did the same thing. I saw everyone was like, "No, the perilous journey. I'm not really feeling it. I'm not going to send my heroes." So I was like, this is it. I've got a full send. So I actually I sent 90% of my heroes. I think I sent like 80, 81 total. So I sent all the heroes that I had, and then I this is around the same time people were talking about like grabbing the Gen 1 10 of 10s and doing those summons. So I grabbed 5 pairs of those, summoned them down to 5, and I sold off all of my commons to buy more rares and
Nice.
like uncommon advance to try and game to get one of these Gen Zeros. So I was super hyped
Dang.
when that paid off and I got one from the
Yeah.
raffle.
Did you get any great survivors with the boost from the Perilous Journey as well?
I did. So well, so I'd say of my top 10 heroes, I think 8 of them died on the journey. It was
Yeah.
it was it was rough. So I sent 3 elites that didn't make it. I sent 4 legendaries, 5 legendaries, and I got 2 of them back.
Ouch.
So
Ouch.
that was pretty rough. But I got a legendary Dark Knight and a mythic warrior that I sent. Like I summoned them during that whole summoning spree, and I got them back. And a rare summoner. So that's my stack now.
Nice.
All
Nice.
right. Nice.
So let's do a quick roundtable. We were chatting a moment before we jumped on live here with the stream, and it's been a bit of a hectic week. In the crypto space and DFK. Got a little rattled by some of the news that came out this weekend, but I think here we are on the other side. I hope for the better. Maybe without getting into kind of the stuff on Fox and that saga, more of the I want to ask kind of each of you guys, because I think right now is actually a really exciting time, and we might all be coming up with our own unique strategies on what are we going to do when the price of Jewel, it's kind of like, maybe we can buy the dip situation. So maybe let's start with you, Bob. What's your strategy right now? Are you holding? Are you buying? Or what's going on? Selling? That could be it too.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little shook on Saturday when I woke up and read the announcement. That was not what I wanted to hear, and that was a rough day to be honest. So it's completely 180 basically since then. I've really been impressed with what they've done and how they've kind of controlled the narrative and addressed what they needed to address and just move forward. That's really all I wanted them to do. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I sold a lot of my liquid holdings. I liquidated my gardens and sold my jewel. Basically, I woke up early that morning and read that and kind of panicked, to be honest. And I said I was going to give it 24 hours and reevaluate. And then the next day, I ended up buying all that back plus more. So essentially, I bought the dip. And I ended up buying locked jewel instead of liquid jewel this time around. So I'm actually in it for an even longer term. So now I'm mining locked jewel because I never had enough in the gardens to lock my own jewel. So I took this opportunity, I don't know, on the OTC markets we're not supposed to talk about. I don't think that's a real thing.
I think we'll get into that. I think Nindorf and I both did that here recently too. So,
but yeah, so I actually bought the dip in that way. I got rid of all my liquid stuff and kind of used the opportunity to buy for under $1, basically enough lock jewel to, if we turn this franchise around, it's going to be a good year. That's basically where I'm at. I didn't really do too much with heroes, to be honest.
okay.
I kind of just I realized I was a little illiquid and caught a little flat-footed with that. So I didn't feel like I could do too much with those because price has gone down so much. I didn't really want to either. So I moved my liquid jewel and moved into lock jewel. And yeah, I'm happy with the way things have progressed. Obviously, that was, before I realized I wanted Gen0s. So now I'm going to do a lot more with heroes.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
that's kind of unexpected.
As I was saying a little bit on the last stream, I woke up Saturday morning. It was like because I have 4 Gen1s at home. It was one of the rare occasions that I actually slept in, because we had the wife and I had gone to a concert on Thursday night. We drove all the way back on Friday morning in the wee hours of the morning. I did the kids on Friday morning, so Saturday was my turn to sleep in, and I woke up to Neindorf texting me like, "Hey, I'm moving around funds," and then like a text where he's like, "I'm moving funds out of Crystal Vale right now because that's DFK owned," and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And then I jumped on Discord and I was
Yikes.
like, "Oh my god, things have just totally blown up," and it was absolutely weird. So yeah, Saturday morning was that was a strange experience. So yeah, Neindorf, why don't you give the give the listeners what are you going after? I know you got a locked bag as well.
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. That was my immediate reaction when I started seeing the chaos again early in the morning hours, right? I was like, you know what? I trust Harmony. It's a little bigger than the game, and I was like, I got to read through all this just to make sure I know what's happening. So the first thing I had is I had a pile of USDC coin and Crystal Van. I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and bridge that to Harmony, just for safekeeping. Um, and actually, honestly, to stage it too, because once this thing started dipping, I'm in this game for the long haul. So I was like, I wanted it. I felt like there was better liquidity in Serendale, so I kind of wanted that US dollar coin there anyway. So I kind of took that opportunity to just kind of move that over. But yeah, no doubt, you and I, we've both added to our lock jewel bag. I bought jewel itself as well. Yeah, I seem to be accumulating more heroes now today for whatever reason. So yeah, it's full speed ahead for me. Buying jewel, lock jewel heroes, and I also did manage to take some out back to Binance just to, right the ship a little bit with my original investments. So I think everything's clicking forward well here.
All right, Mean Machine. How was your weekend?
Well, it was like all of you. All Saturday morning was rough. So I actually had bought a Gen Zero, the first Gen Zero I'd ever bought, Friday night. And so waking up to all the drama going on Saturday morning was just like the worst possible way that
Oh
could have
man,
gone.
that's rough.
But I'm in it for the long haul, and that's sort of why I decided to buy a Gen Zero on Friday night in the first place. Because I've been casually keeping an eye on them, and I saw one that was really cheap, and with a DR1 matching, I just pounced on it. And so that was my
Nice.
strategy for the weekend as well, was to try and find a buddy, summoning partner for that. So it's a thief. So I was looking at archers, and I was using DFK Ventures alerts to try and notify me. And I was out doing shopping, and somebody listed a Gen Zero for like an archer that had two matching abilities for mine at 3,250
Woo.
Jewel, and this was when Jewel was trading at like under $1.05. So that was
Nice.
like a steal. And so like I ran home, I sat down on my computer, and between the time I bought the Jewel, it sold.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's rough.
that was a disappointment. But yeah, I'm just I've been mostly out of my liquid positions for a while now. With the whole when Crystal Veil hit, and this is I've been doing crypto now for like 4 years, and I actually blew up. I hit real all time highs in May, and that was a rough drawdown. So I was like, the next time I feel really happy about my portfolio, I'm taking a lot of profit right away. So that's what I did in Crystal Veil. So I've been cautious on the liquid stuff, but I think heroes are the best long-term play to play the game. And I think regardless of what market you're going to be in, whether it's bull or bear, I still think playing DFK is going to be the best way to go.
I agree
I
with
like
that.
that.
And I think that I also agree that there's going to be some value long term in heroes. And I would kind of clarify the right heroes. I think the game has to if it's going to succeed and you believe in the team, which I do, and I know you do as well, Neindorf, and much of our community as well. But you have to think about that combat is the way for that to go, and so that's what I've been kind of focusing my energy on is trying to think about what heroes can I buy right now in the dip, or how do I prepare myself. Something that I've been thinking about is how can you maximize the opportunity to add stats to heroes, and so I've been setting my alerts on cheap advanced Gen 2 heroes, so I'm going after common advanced heroes and trying to pick the stats appropriately to figure out that if you summon two heroes together, you get them level 5, and you focus the same stat on either side of the hero, you'll get plus potentially +2 to one stat. And if you summon with a stone, then you get another +4 to that stat. And then if you get the green boost on that and, really strike gold, you could get +8 on, your roll, and you have a really good opportunity to either return, if you're summoning 2 advance together, either returning another advance or maybe striking that transcendent. So I've been really trying to play the hero game as well, and definitely putting in a lot of liquid, what was liquid, assets back into the game. And so whether it's the lock jewel bag, I bought a little bit of that, and then I've been buying some heroes as well. All right, well, let's talk about Meanmachine. You mentioned buying some Gen0s, and one of them had the DR1 pair. But did I understand correctly that so you didn't get the second one?
Did not.
I assume that you are not going to re-roll. I'd like to talk about re-rolling a little bit here. Did you guys have a chance to listen into the podcast by Hubert Neindorf? Maybe you go first.
I didn't catch it. I caught the synopsis, I guess, after the fact. Some very interesting things, though. Like the rewards, the XP, the Chaos Stone. I think there's some pretty juicy stuff in there. So I'd be curious to see your guys' take on this.
Yeah, Bob, why don't you give us, did you have a chance to check that out? And I'll share with you guys my screen right now. So you can see, I try to have a image up here. Trying to share this on YouTube as well. Of what I was looking at, which is just a gene re-rolling reward. So maybe Bob, why don't you go first? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I don't have any Gen0s, but I did watch it live because I'm a pretty avid content consumer when it comes to DFK, especially today. But yeah, I did pay pretty close attention to it. It seems like unless you have a really good reason not to, I would be very keen to re-roll most anything. If you have the matching, I guess I call them pure heroes, the matching R1 D1,
Right.
or D1 R1 class, but whatever you want to call them. I mean, obviously that's a big deal, getting up from 15% up to 23% if you get 2 of them. That's kind of the dream. But short of that, or you probably don't want to re-roll any minors still, because I think minors are gonna pump. Even more so when we get to Crystal Vale. Pretty obviously, people are going to need twice as many miners, so I wouldn't re-roll any of those, and probably not any recessive miners if they're a good class for it, like Warrior or Knight or whatever. I wouldn't re-roll probably those either.
Hmm.
I don't know. But yeah, the rewards seem great. They're much more than I thought. Um, I was talking to somebody about it, and they said that they better do some big rewards to get people to switch their genes. And my opinion before they released the rewards was a lot of people would pay to re-roll their guys. If your guy isn't great, I mean, why wouldn't you do it? I mean,
Yeah, that
so
that
getting
10
great
or
rewards on top
12%
of that,
chance at getting the
yeah,
pure, like you said,
yeah, yeah.
that's a pretty good deal.
I
Keep in
think a
mind,
lot
these
of
are
people would pay.
greater
So
attunements. Like, did you see that? I missed
Yeah.
that the first go around. Those provide absolutely ginormous bonuses. So keep that. I just saw that now for the first time, and I've been working on coding. I don't know if you guys have seen on the site now. You can kind of see your stats, and it'll highlight which ones have bonuses. I actually haven't coded greater yet because I didn't think we'd get there for a long time. But now I'm like, man, I got some work ahead of me. I gotta catch
Here we
up.
are. Yeah, I wouldn't underplay the resetting the summons to 0 either. Um, we got out of the hero summoning business because it just wasn't as lucrative as it once was, Neindorf. But hero summoning to 0 also resets the cost. I think that goes down to 6 jewel per hero for the
Yep, that's
summoning
correct.
cost. Yeah, it's been a long time since that number was there. So, I mean, you almost make another 400-ish jewel just per hero based on just reducing your summoning costs. So that kind of, if you're in the market for a hero, almost like it's a future discount on that as well. So Mean Machine, I assume you're not going to. Are you thinking about buying another one now, or are you gonna hold off?
I'm gonna hold off. I didn't quite get any that I was particularly interested in dropping that amount of cash on. But the reroll, the more I look at this, the more tempting it looks. Like I'm not gonna do the reroll or everything because the whole reason I bought mine was the DR1 matching, and I can't get any better than that. But I mean that XP bonus too. Like if you have one of your Gen Zeros you've been stamp potting, like that's a lot of XP that
It's almost
helps
a
you to
level,
land
or it is a level. I think up until level 9. I want to say.
Yeah, and like that's what I've been thinking about, like looking long term is trying to get heroes ready for land tournaments. And if you're one of those people who's been doing that for your Gen Zero, like that's pretty substantial, and the stat bonuses too. So I would be really tempted if I didn't have the DR1 matching, and I am gonna do the visual reroll to do that. I've thought like there's no harm in doing that. Doesn't change how any traits that I'm gonna summon, but I think it
Right.
would be cool to try that out.
That's a good middle of the road kind of approach there. I like that.
Yeah. See, there's this archer here, archer priest, purple dexterity. That's impressive to me. Um, that I'm looking at, at the floor of Gen Zeros right now, and I mean this one, like that priest secondary class, like that's not that great. I mean, I feel like that's a great opportunity right there, especially with that purple dex. Like,
See what kills me, and I've looked at this actually because I think it has two matching skill, passive and actives
oh,
for mine,
nice.
but it's the gardening, and I know eventually profession won't matter, but until it does, I don't want to I don't want to be someone with a gardener because I want to my thought process with the Gen Zero is I want to keep the really rare summons that I get because that's like I can't make myself go out and drop a ton of cash on mythics when we don't know what abilities are or any of that. But I'm perfectly fine keeping them when I summon them. It's maybe a little illogical, but it's how I think about it. But I just can't do the gardeners anymore. Like the one at a time, it's just too much.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
a good point. And they did mention at one point that I thought they were going to allow you to do groups of gardening, and we just we haven't really seen that come out yet. But
no, you haven't.
uh, I hear you. Gardening it is more of a painful one, no doubt.
It's slow, tedious. Yeah, it's as you guys know, we call them Steve the Gardeners or Steve the Pirate Gardeners because they're no good.
Yep. I was thinking about you guys. I had a couple of PJ survivors come back, and so I bought pirate gardeners because they were like the cheapest rare ones. And of course, they all survived.
Of course they
You
do.
know, of course
They're
they survived.
they're
Super
resilient little
speeds.
suckers, that's for sure.
Oh, that's
They're
funny.
like cockroaches, they don't go down.
I mean,
The
with that
Krakens.
hero, I would be putting that archer on the training quest, right? With the purple dex. I mean, you could just never garden with it with that one. I mean, because it's got to be good at dexterity with purple.
That's
with
true.
with
I was thinking
24,
about
yeah.
like heroes that get summoned though. Right now, you got to
Yeah.
grind them through profession
Yeah.
until they're at least level 5, 6.
Yeah,
But yeah,
personally, I don't do training quests unless I have a stat that's over 30. Even my guys that are over 30, still, I sometimes come back with one or none out of five, and it's like, oh, it's like you're killing me here.
I make an exception for my gardeners.
Do you? Oh, yeah, yeah.
If
Yeah.
they missed all five, they still get like 60 or 75, I think. So that's like not
You
that much.
saved
I
an
mean, it's
hour
bad,
off
but
your day by being able to send them on a training
definitely
quest
a quality
instead.
of life. And you can send a bunch at the same time.
Right.
Right.
yep. All my gardeners are of the magical persuasion, so I just send them all on Wisdom Quest. I'm a big fan of the training quests, but I'm biased because most of my heroes are PJ survivors, and that's a huge help with the training quest since I get most of them that I've had for a while now are 7 or 8, and with the PJ bonus, that's around 30. And I've been seeing, I feel like I'm getting more XP. I haven't sat down and mapped it out yet, but I feel like it's worth it to run them.
I think it absolutely gives more XP. I know for the longest time, I was fairly consistent in the mid 30s of the runes, and I'm struggling to stay above 10 runes now. So, and I'm still probably doing about a third of my heroes in the professions, Well, no, I should say about half in professions and half in the training quest. So I feel like it has to be doing more XP because it
Yep.
should be taking longer as my heroes level up. But it seems like it's taking about the same amount of time now. So I hear you there.
See, that's funny, Neindorf. I've been doing just fine on the runes. Now, I don't pull in the eggs like you do, but I'm sitting on 33 runes, so pulling in Shavas runes has not been a problem for me. Has anyone? Where are you guys at on the scrolls? Are you close to finishing the set?
I got 5 of the same one and one of 3 others.
Oh
It was
no.
crazy.
Now, Neindorf, you keyed me off to selling your scroll on the taboo secondary market, right? And that
Yes, I
worked out for
did.
you. Not financial advice here for our listeners.
Yeah, so I sold one on there. I think I have another one listed. And with the one I have listed, I do have 1 to 9. I have a full set now, and I've only had to sell two.
Nice.
Or so I got really lucky that I had only two overlapping. I shouldn't say that though. That's not true. I had four overlapping, and you happened to have the yings to my yangs, and we did two swaps. I had
That's
forgotten
right.
about that.
I'm still missing two. I'm missing 1 and 8. So I'm thinking about going out to buy those on the secondary market. But yeah, I actually ended up selling a couple of my extras as well for like 24 and 20 jewel. Like that seemed like,
Wow.
might as well have that there. How about you, Mean Machine? Where are
Yeah.
you at?
I've been sitting on all mine so far. So I've been accumulating. I have 1 through 7. I'm missing 8 and 9, but I think over the past week I picked up duplicates in just about all the ones I have. But since this runs for 3 months, I'm thinking I'll just wait and see if I can quest the other two before I go out and buy them. But I think once the functionality comes in game, I'm gonna be offloading the duplicates.
Yeah. And I would
So here,
say if you are going to sell them, well, I mean, this is the risky play. If you trust going to a secondary source or third party source to sell them, I'd sell now because I think, in 3 months' time, I think a lot of people are going to be close to a complete set. And the value might actually come down on a per jewel basis, which
yeah,
would
it
be the
Yeah,
right
already
that's
time to
has.
fair.
buy, but maybe not the right time to sell.
That's fair. I gotta figure out some like other wallet or something, some way to do that because there's no way I'm connecting my main game wallet to a third party site.
Oh, dude, yeah, I'm just risking it, man. Not financial advice. I'm connected to so many places. It's probably ridiculous. Uh, but here's my wild speculation for the night. I don't know that one full set's all you're gonna need necessarily. That might be an entry for one squad of heroes. Think
Uh,
about that one. It didn't say that it was for you as your profile, as your hero, your
They
profile.
they
It might be
did
your ticket
they did
for
kind of
a squad.
hesitate on the last AMA when that question was asked. So
Uh-huh.
I I
I think,
Hmm.
I could see that too. Good wild
yep.
speculation as always.
if we're gonna wildly speculate, I was thinking, and this would be cool, and I have no.
Oh, I got a
If
new
the team has
scroll.
given me no hint of this, but like, because they mentioned they didn't want it to be, if I remember correctly, they didn't want it to be a gatekeeping during some quests, but like some quests where you get to the end, and if you have this full set, like you burn the scroll to get extra loot or something. I think that would
Ah,
be really interesting, or like a unique loot from finishing some quest line that you couldn't get if you didn't have the scroll.
yeah, like the key to unlock something. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that too.
But yeah, it'd probably be beneficial to have multiple sets, though. I would think they're gonna have, an NPC or something, or maybe in town they might have an NPC in town where you give them a set and then they give you like a regular token, like what we're used to having with ERC 721, because these are a different one, right? So
Yep.
then you could do whatever you wanted to with that, sell it at the vendor or use it for a quest or something. But I assume they're just gonna like burn those pages to make like a tome or something, and then you can either use that for a quest or sell it. But I assume you can, if you have multiple sets, you can do it as many times as you got sets. Probably. That's
I
my
did
that's my wild speculation.
I like that. I did hear somewhere, I don't remember if it was on the DFK Dev Discord or where, but I believe that they are going to be tradable in game in the future. I don't know if that's going to be soon, or if that's absolutely true or not. But I had heard that. So I think what you can read between the lines on that is that this token style, which as you alluded to, is slightly different than say the Jewel token. There will be more of these in the future, and I think they are going to be how they govern their quest lines. So be prepared that this is kind of a trial run for the team.
It's,
I'm wondering if it's going to come out as part of the pets launch, because I think they said they wanted to have pets tradable in game, and it would make a lot of sense for that to come out as part of the auction house, and the auction house to also have this thing, these other types of tokens tradable in them too.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. I think that's exactly it. And I don't know that we even know what type of token pets are going to be yet, technically. Like, I don't know if we know that they're upgradable. They might just be a static. I mean, maybe, yeah, I don't know. Again, more speculation, right? There's a lot of things that are still kind of up in the air.
yes, there are. Well, we're kind of hitting on about 30 minutes into the podcast, and unfortunately, we have not seen an update drop.
Yeah.
So I think I'm probably gonna have us call it quits here for the night in case all of a sudden, 5 minutes from now they release. But I would say, listeners out there, go ahead and check out the Discord, and Bob and Mean Machine. I can't blame you guys for wanting to open those crystals right away. So if you don't mind, sharing some images of what you find out. I know Neindorf, we had been reaching out to Mr. Zipper. As soon as humanly possible, we are going to be updating the way that we pull information so we can track down the recessives on those new heroes as they get revealed. So I know that's a major priority for us. So stay tuned on that, and pay attention to Discord, and that's where we'll be sharing any information. So any closing thoughts? Neindorf, let's start with you first.
Yeah, I think this is, I really like this place that we're at now. Coming off that kind of rough weekend, we'll get to this point here where we've got a new feature. We've got new Gen Zeros launching. It's a very sort of a paramount thing for the game. That baseline genetic code, if you will, for the heroes, plus this reroll capability that's kind of getting people thinking again. And actually, I think it's pumping Gen Zero prices a bit. So I guess my closing point is just that it's a healthy market here where the game is doing its thing. They're releasing new content. I mean, all signs are positive in my opinion. And let's just let's go. Let's keep this going.
I agree. All right, Mean Machine, how you feeling?
I'm still feeling hype. I can't wait to see these Gen Zeros. I'm looking forward to the team sort of getting a steady pace of new content out. I think everyone will appreciate that, and I'm hoping things can just calm down and so they can sort of put their heads down and get the ship right. But the team's strength overall has been one of the reasons that got me so into the project, and nothing that I've seen so far has changed that opinion.
I hear you there. All right, Bob, what do you have? Take us home.
Yep, looking forward to it. I guess I'll probably wake up early tomorrow, 'cause like a kid on Christmas. I've yet to summon a mythic, so tomorrow will be a good time.
All right, there you go.
Go.
All right,
Well,
well,
good luck to you. I hope you get that on your first roll here.
yeah, and I look forward to you guys sharing some screenshots
Yeah, I'll let you
Of
know.
course.
a berserker or a seer out there, and just kind of checking out those cards. I'm really excited about that. All right, well, for the guys here, thank you for tuning in tonight. Sorry we couldn't do a Crystal Veil Gen Zero reveal. That's certainly what we wanted to do, but go ahead and check out the Discord site. This is the Raph. Go ahead, and I'm gonna sign off. So take care and have a good night.